Next week, we mark World Psoriasis Day. And here in the Philippines, an estimated 2 million Filipinos are living with this disease. What is it exactly and how can one get it? To tell us more about that, we have in the studio Dr. Francisco Rivera. He's the Vice President of the Philippine Dermatological Society and just opened a new psoriasis center. Welcome to the show, Doctor.
Good morning.
Okay, so before we move forward, can you explain to us what exactly is psoriasis?
Well, psoriasis is a chronic condition, okay? It is highly disfiguring and debilitating. And most of the patients suffer social stigma, and some of them lead to depression, and some of them commit suicide, yeah.
Okay, we were just talking about that topic earlier, no? But who are those mostly affected by psoriasis, or who can get psoriasis?
Actually, this is a genetic disease, an autoimmune disease. If you say autoimmune, because our body have these cells that protect us from foreign substance and infection. And unfortunately, there are times these cells mistakenly attack our normal cells.
Okay.
That leads to psoriasis.
Okay.
So anyone can be affected. There are predispositions, of course, but there are trigger factors, okay? These people are just waiting for trigger factors.
Okay.
And the most common ones are infection.
Okay.
And some drugs can also trigger psoriasis, like your beta blockers in hypertension.
Okay. Now, on the TV screen here, we have some pictures of what psoriasis looks like on the skin, but that's close up. From afar, for someone who hasn't seen psoriasis before, what does it look like on someone?
Well, there are different types of psoriasis.
Right.
The most common ones are the chronic plaque psoriasis. So it's red, and there's a thick scaling. And if you remove the scales, usually you can see pinprick bleeding.
Okay.
Pinpoint bleeding, I mean.
So from afar, you can see the person, maraming lesions sa
Yes,
balat niya, no,
yes.
Doctor? Okay. So I guess the next thing that is most important is, can this be transmitted? Nakakahawa ba ito, Doctor?
No. That's what we're trying to inform the public. Yes, this is, patients with psoriasis doesn't look good, but they're not infectious, okay? That's it.
Ayun. So I guess the next thing is, how can this be treated? Is there, let's start first, is there a cure for this?
Well, there's no cure, but we can manage patients with psoriasis. No? Usually we start with topical steroids. Actually, it depends, how extensive the psoriasis is. If the affected area is less than 10% of the body surface area, we start on topical steroids, calcipotriol, and other topical treatment. But if it becomes more extensive, we also use phototherapy, oral medication, and biologicals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we already know, Doctor, what causes psoriasis? You mentioned earlier that this is a genetic thing, but do we already know something that, can there be prevented while still in the womb? Can the mother do anything to protect herself?
Unfortunately, no.
No, not yet. Yeah. And you also mentioned that this is triggered. This is triggered by several factors once a person has this. What are some of the triggers again? Could you repeat
trigger
it?
factors, number one, are stress.
Right.
Stress is number one. And usually the patient can identify the trigger factors, and most of them will say stress. Second is trauma. Okay? So if one part of your body is traumatized, okay, so the psoriasis lesion will appear in that area. Others, infection, okay, upper respiratory tract infection will trigger a different form of psoriasis. We call them guttate psoriasis. So drugs can also, like your metoprolol and other beta blocker, can trigger also psoriasis.
Now, why is it important to understand the disease and spread awareness about it?
Yes, the importance is, well, the patients with psoriasis oftentimes are stigmatized, okay? So there are restaurants that they cannot
enter.
There are airlines that they cannot enter. So these people are really highly stigmatized, outcast in the society.
Because of the appearance,
Because
of
of
the
the
appearance of the
appearance,
lesions.
yes. Because they thought it is infectious. So that's the reason why. That's why we are spreading the news that psoriasis is just like diabetes. Okay, it's not infectious. Okay, we can live with them. Okay, and they deserve equal treatment as normal people. Yeah.
Okay, and hopefully with that, you get to spread more information and create more awareness for those. Okay, so with that, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Francis Rivera,
Okay,
for
thank you
sharing
very
your
much.
knowledge and coming onto the show.
Yeah, thank you.